Flu vaccine. Seasonal flu vaccine, okay, there's a year apart roughly if people get vaccinated every year, but the flu vaccine can vary every year from manufacturers and even platforms that's used to make it. So there's no scientific reason why you can't immunise a person with a different vaccine having previously immunised them with another one. There are regulatory reasons for it because they have done the clinical trials with only first and second dose with the same vaccine and not with a mixing. But there's no scientific reason. In fact, the immunology is that the response can be better if you give the second dose with a different vaccine. So there's no scientific reason for not doing it.
Professor Kingston Mills, thank you very much indeed. Now, Prince Philip's death on Friday prompted tributes and sympathy from across the world. Here in Ireland, everyone from the Taoiseach to the President offered condolences. In Northern Ireland, Deputy First Minister Michelle O'Neill said even though they did endure personal loss, the royal family has set about working towards the advancement of peace and reconciliation, and they demonstrated that with their words and deeds over recent years. She went on to say, I just think it's really important in terms of respect for two different communities between our islands that I would speak in the way in which I have. Well, People Before Profit, though, they took a different approach and tweeted, no, we are not sending condolences. And former Ireland rugby coach Eddie O'Sullivan is here. Eddie, you took issue with this tweet saying that Brid Smith here and her colleagues hate humans. Why would you say that?
Well, I think that it's a narrative I get from the far left is that they love humanity but they hate humans. That was my tweet. I said they love humanity but they hate humans. And the reason I said that is I think that there is a rhetoric around that they use which is quite hateful. And I think I could be proven wrong on that, and I'd like to be proven wrong on that. But there's plenty of evidence for that.
Do you hate humans?
No, I love people. I think it's a ridiculous thing to say. And particularly in the context of Prince Philip, a monarch who stood over a state that has engaged in very brutal wars in the last few decades in Iraq and Afghanistan. The illegal war in Iraq, indeed, where tens of thousands of people, millions of people lost their lives. So it's often the power that hates humans, not the left.
But you know, we have a great tradition in this country of, you know, respect for the dead. And it was on the day that the man died. Do you not think it was maybe the timing was off?
Well, it wasn't intended, nor was it disrespectful to the man. What we were critical of was the monarch itself. And if you just look at the hype, the sort of frenzy that's taken place to the point that 60% of the British viewing public have turned off the BBC because it's wall-to-wall coverage of it. 15 pages in the Times newspaper, The Guardian likewise. The eulogising of this figurehead is just ridiculous. And I actually think that what they're doing is they're trying to rehabilitate the monarchy by using his death in that way, because they've been in a lot of problems lately between Meghan and Harry, the relationship with Epstein. You know, they've had a lot of bad coverage, so this is now an attempt.
People are interested in them, you see, and that's why the papers are doing all those supplements. I mean, you know how many people watched the Harry and Meghan interview, even here on RTE in Ireland. There were 750,000 people watching them.
No, sure, and that's my point, is that I think it's beholden of people of the left and Republicans with a small r. I'm a Republican, I don't believe in monarchy. And I think this republic, this country was born out of shunning the idea of monarchy. And I think but it behoves us to explain that to people, that monarchy has no place in modern democracy. And it actually sends a message that what matters is the blue blood, not the ordinary people.
So she's entitled to have that opinion, right?
Well, listen, I fully agree that Brid is entitled to her opinion. It's a free country. I believe in free speech. And I would defend Brid's right to say what she wants, because even if I disagree with it, this is what free speech is about. But I would disagree with Brid's position on this, because I think it's a new law. We're attacking or dancing in the grave of somebody who's died. It might be a line in the water for People Before Profit, that if you get away with this, he's a soft target, he's one of the monarchy. And I've no graph of the monarchy. I'm like any other Irish person. I'm as Republican as Brid is. I grew up in Ireland, I'm an Irish citizen. But to attack somebody when they're dead, I don't see the value in that. I don't see that's coarsening the discourse we have in politics. And there's plenty of examples about it. I mean, Deputy Smith here uses name-calling in a political sense. Leo the liar. Like, what's the point in that?
It's not just People Before Profit who've used. That's a hashtag
she has used
on Twitter
it.
that has been used around the place.
She has used it. They attacked
Eddie, could we go back to the main point, which is I did not attack the Prince. I did not make any personal attack. Just be accurate about it.
You attacked the High Court judge.
The monarchy. I attacked the monarchy.
High Court judge
I attacked the monarchy. I
year.
could say plenty of unflattering things about the life of Prince Philip and the sort of nastiness and intolerance and misogyny and racism.
I can just make a point.
But I did not attack him.
You attack a High Court judge.
I did not attack Prince Philip. Come here. Why are you shifting it onto a High Court judge
Because it's
now?
all about rhetoric. I think this is about rhetoric. This has nothing to do with the royal family. This is nothing to do. This is about how we carry out.
Is it about rhetoric or is it about personalising attacks?
Yes, that's what part of the rhetoric is.
Yeah.
All the attacks are personalised.
But you just said she didn't attack Prince Philip.
I didn't attack the monarchy.
You said it was racist.
I've said that now. But
it's in your tweet.
It's a racist history. He has a racist history. Nobody can deny that.
That's not.
His racist gaffes are all over the black and white media.
How can you say calling somebody racist is an attack?
It's a truth. It's a truth. But I didn't personally attack him.
No, my point is, it's about rhetoric. We are going down the toilet here in terms of our public rhetoric. People for profit are happy to use that rhetoric. Name calling, disrespecting the dead. Prince Philip is a human being.
He was also
attacking. Excuse me, I'm not quite finished.
And I'm making a political point.
Also attacking a High Court judge. What kind of democracy do we want in this country? Attacking a High Court judge. By the way, here's an interesting point. You might be shocked to hear this. Attacking the judiciary and name calling is a classic playbook from Donald Trump. He did it right through his presidency. And I know how much you despise Donald Trump, but would not give you moan for pause that you are using playbooks that Donald Trump used. Attacking the judiciary and calling people names in public.
Eddie, you can say what you like about me and you can shift it off to Donald Trump. You can shift it off to a High Court judge. But you have come here with an allegation that I personally attacked the Prince and I wasn't having a point, not making a point about the monarchy. The whole point of the post was to say that the monarchy has no place in modern democracy and that eulogising and fawning and grovelling over the death of a prince. By the way, on the same day, 4,000 people lost their lives from COVID in Brazil. There was hardly a mention about that. However, I'm not going to focus on that. I'm focusing on the argument here. The attack was on the idea of monarchy. It's outdated, it's anti-democratic, and it does not serve working-class people in the north or in Britain well at all.
I agree with you.
That is the point I'm making.
I agree with you, but I would not take the opportunity of a person dying to jump on that bandwagon.
Isn't it interesting, though, how Michelle O'Neill and Sinn Féin dealt with this? I mean, you would expect them to stay very quiet on the occasion of the death of a member of the royal family. And they came out and they said, we respect that people are upset over this and we offer our condolences to those people who are loyal to the Crown.
Yes, it is interesting, and I was very surprised they did. But I'm not Sinn Féin, and I'm not here to, purport Sinn Féin's position or to defend it.
And I'm not asking you to, but of all people, we would have expected Sinn Féin to stay very quiet, perhaps, about
maybe that says
the death of this
something
person.
about maybe that says something about where their position.
Does it say something about having respect for the views of others, though?
Of course it may say something about having... I respect the views of others. I don't mind if Eddie and you and everybody else wants to mourn Prince Philip's death. Well, go ahead, that's fine.
But there are loyalists who live on this island who will feel this loss very, very acutely, and we know that.
Yes, and part of why we engage in this kind of discussion is because we need, and always do, say to the Protestant working class that they have no benefit by hiking or hitching their wagon to the royal family. They suffer from an illusion that somehow they gain from association with the royal family from the British Crown. Actually, they feel betrayed. Why are they betrayed? Because they have been betrayed. Mostly by the DUP and the Tories, but also by the idea that the British Crown, serves them well. It does not serve them well.
Instead of telling the people in Northern Ireland how they should think about the monarchy, would you not ask them what they think about the monarchy?
I have asked them what they think.
You're speaking at a conference.
I have asked them what they think.
You're speaking at a conference in 2 weeks' time. So you're speaking at a conference in 2 weeks' time. You're speaking at a conference in 2 weeks' time. Title of the conference, Alternative United Ireland. How do you, Deputy Smith, believe calling Prince Philip and the monarchy racist will entice people in Northern Ireland into United Ireland?
Thanks for advertising our conference. People out there might like to look at our website and see this conference. It'll be a very interesting conference. Yeah. There's a whole range of people speaking at it. And the question of a border poll in United Ireland is very much on the agenda.
Eddie, you accuse Brid Smith of coarsening the debate and personalising things. I mean, what are you doing tonight in making those, levelling those accusations at an individual TD?
Well, which accusation am I making?
That she's coarsening the debate. You're accusing her of coarsening the debate.
Coarsening the debate is name-calling in a political domain. It's also attacking a High Court judge. That's coursing the debate. It's also, in this case, disrespecting someone else.
So what does it do to public discourse if you say to somebody, you hate humans? What impact does that have on public discourse?
It's not good. But I made that tweet on the basis that they claim to love mankind, but when you tell people they've blood on their hands because you agree with them politically, that's not good discourse. What does that send to somebody? Calling somebody a racist that's
dead. They have blood on their hands. The British monarchy have blood on their hands. I respect Brid's right to say what she's saying. Yeah.
I have no problem with her saying it. I don't disrespect you on that.
Well, good.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not being pejorative about it. I'm saying is I respect your right to say it, but I disagree, and I think as a public representative, as a leader in the country, that you could do better in how you express your opinions without that sort of nonsense attacks like calling names and attacking a High Court judge.
You missed the whole point of the Post. The Post was saying that despite the fact that he was a prince and that he's dead, there is an argument here about the existence of monarchy in the modern world, and that you cannot get away from the history of somebody which involves racism, but also knowing that the celebration or the commemoration of his death is political.
But have you not set a precedent now? Have you not set a precedent?
And look at the way it's gone crazy in the British media. Everybody who's anybody is out eulogising Prince Philip.
They're ladling it on the monarchy is British.
They're ladling it on in order to try and rehabilitate the monarchy.
I don't dare to tell people in Ireland and in England how they should carry on. They're English. If they want to eulogise the monarchy, let them do it. My point is, what message are you sending with your language?
OK, I just want to have a look at a poll that we did on this, just to get a sense of what people think. So we asked 1,000 adults on the Amoric smartphone panel this question. Was the government right to send condolences on the death of Prince Philip? And let's have a look at the results. Brid, 91% agree that the Irish government was right to send condolences on the death of Prince Philip, and you can see there that 4% said no. I mean, people don't agree with your stance, your party's stance. We don't send condolences.
There's a lot of people out there do agree with me that the monarchy has no right in a modern democracy, and that the existence of the monarchy is about saying that there's a certain section of humanity that has blue blood and the rest are the ordinary people. This is a symbol of privilege, a symbol of greed, of wealth, and it's had its hard days, and they're using his death now to try and rehabilitate themselves.
And you said earlier that you're no great fan of the monarchy, so maybe you agree with that substantive point.
I agree with some of what you said. The greed thing, I don't agree. I don't like calling names again. But my point is, I agree that monarchy has really no place in the modern world. But that's not our decision. The British people want a monarchy. And until the British people decide... Sorry. Until the British people decide they don't want a monarchy, they're entitled to one. So you going off and tell them they're all crazy or they shouldn't be doing it or the media is wrong. Like, why not just let the British people get on with their lives?
Do you not think, Eddie, for 1 minute, there's a big debate about this in Britain?
Stop dancing on somebody's grave.
I'm not dancing on anybody's grave.
For political gain.
We are not dancing on anybody's grave. We're making the political point that for a monarchy to exist in the modern world has no place in it, and that for people to believe that they are somehow going to benefit from that is misguided.
OK, we're going to leave it there.
And I think it's a debate in Britain as well.
Thank you both very much. Brid Smith and Eddie O'Sullivan, thank you for joining us.